we're going to try something different. You'll recall that a few days ago that Jimmy came down here late in the evening to catch dinner, and he bragged about how it didn't take him very long to catch enough fish for dinner. So I think that he sort of challenged me to come down here and see what I could catch, knowing that the fishing probably is not as good now as it was when he was, well, shoot. Is a perch. Catch that in memory of my mama, who died 3 years ago today. And she loved to perch fish down here at this pier, and spent about the last week of her good life down here fishing every day for a week. So that one's for you, Grandma. That's the right kind. Ha-ha, Jimmy. I caught one at least. But I'm not going to clean these. I'm going to throw them back. Next time you want fish, you're going to have to come back and catch them yourself, Mr. Jimmy. That's one. Actually, that's two, the way Jimmy counts. Another perch. Be careful getting those off. The fins are kind of sticky. Sometimes you can pop them off without having to even touch them, but not that one. Oops, that one didn't get hooked up. That one did. That's the right kind. It's just not very big. It's really funny the way these fish are in here. You can come down here and fish all afternoon and catch very few. Very scattered, and then just right before dark. And normally in the past, it seems like when we used to fish chin-killer a lot, the crappie would quit right before dark. And here, they seem to really turn on right before dark, which that way we can work all day and then come down here late in the evening and have a little downtime, and it makes for a relaxing evening. There's another perch. You can tell if they're perch because they sort of spin whenever you're reeling them in. I say that might be a crappie. Nope, it's perch. I've lost count. I have no idea how many I caught. Probably 15 or 20. Maybe not quite that many. Count like Jimmy does. Another one, another perch. But you know, yesterday too, whenever we had a hard time catching them, the water was real slick, so that probably has something to do with the fact they're biting a little better this evening. I know just the temperature's not much different. It was beautiful yesterday, so it's got to be, oops, That one missed it, or I missed him. Just let it keep dropping, see if one can come after it. Nope. This is a little white marabou roadrunner that I'm throwing right now. And the advantage I like of the marabou over the curly tail ones with the soft plastic on them is you don't have to fix them every time you catch a fish. With the others, you just get a bite and you have to fix the worm, and you don't want to have to take the time to do that every time you get a bite. And so the marabou eliminates that problem. And here's another crappie. Pretty little fish.
I'm a producer now.
Well, I didn't catch one that cast. I'll throw over here toward this boathouse and see what happens. There's one. That one's not very big. He wouldn't make a very big fillet, but he's fun. He'll grow up and be bigger next year. These seem to be pretty, well, I say pretty close to the bottom. That one wasn't very close to the bottom. I have a hard time really letting my bait fall very far most of the time. And this is a real light, I think it's a 16th ounce bait. The bigger ones aren't bunched up, it doesn't look like. But we'll just keep catching them and maybe one will swim by.
What part of throwing toward that chain did you not understand?
I'm catching them every cast.
Let that thing go down a little deeper.
My cameraman thinks he's the director and not the cameraman. Oops, that one came off. That one was real sneaky. It didn't even feel him bite. This kind of a bite is the perfect time to bring somebody down to fish that don't catch fish very much. But just sure as you do, those are the days when they don't bite. There's another one. Then when you don't have those people here, they bite every cast. So anyway, Jack and Cherry, they're biting. Jack turns them off every time he comes. Keep trying to get him into them real good, but the weather always changes or something to make the bite change when they come. But tonight would be the night. They are biting almost every cast. Almost. Come on. There, nope, missed him. There he is. They're all about the same size though. Not very big. See? Not very big. Not a very big fillet. keep thinking they'll get a little bigger as the evening gets a little, or the sun gets a little lower. But so far, that's not working. They are a pretty fish, though, aren't they? Not too long ago, well, earlier in the year, our granddaughter Avery was down here, and she had gone over to the other lake to fish, and I said, what did you catch? And she said, well, I caught one of those bluefish. Like I caught one when we were fishing with Granddad. And I said, bluefish? And it took me a while to realize she was talking about a crappie. And if you look at them, they do have a blue tint to them, but she couldn't remember what their name was or what they were called. And oops, I have to reel that in a little fast. It was right on top, like a buzz bait. There's one. That one feels a little better, maybe, maybe not. Nope, same one. Oh, he might be a tad larger, but not a very big tad. He was just stronger. I swear they're all the same size. Came out of the same hatch this spring. Oops, didn't cast that one very far. They're kind of all out here in the middle. Oh gosh, they're getting smaller. I have to hold this one way out there before you can even see it. See that blue tint on it? That's what she was talking about. There's another one. I think I'm going to have to fish in a different hole. That one's just producing all the same size. That one's a little larger. What do you think, Beamer? What do you think? What do you think, Beamer? Well, hello, Miss Lucy. What are you doing? Well, what are you doing? Did your family come with you? Yeah, I know. It's old Milburn. Old Milburn. Beamer says, help, they're here. Oh, Lucy, quit. No, you're not going to bite it. You can smell it. Oh. No. Just get away. Get away, you silly dear. Get away. Get away, Mr. Milburn. Oh, don't be trying to love on me. I'm sure glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling better. A few years ago, I was filleting some fish, had a bunch of crappie, and had them in a bucket, and I was putting the fillets in a coffee can, and I kept filleting, and my bucket of fillets wasn't growing. I thought, well, my goodness. And I finally figured out that Mrs. Beamer was eating my fillets as I was putting them in there. So she was real sneaky about it.
Sushi.
And I guess it was her day for sushi. So I learned to keep an eye on her. I don't fillet fish very often. I have a fish filleter in the house. That one feels a little better. Not that much bigger, but there's more substance to him. He would make a bigger bite. Guess I should have had a contest with Jimmy this evening. I might have been able to keep up with him. He probably wouldn't agree with that. He's always saying stuff like, you know, we've caught 21. Isn't it funny that you've only caught one? Smart aleck in every crowd, isn't there? Oh, there he is. It's one of those airy cast evenings this evening. But every cast is the same fish. I think he just goes back out there and jumps on there again. Now that one's smaller. Not much to him at all. Just something special about a crappie bite. When they're biting like I really like when they bite. There's just an instant whenever you feel the thump. But then all of a sudden it's just nothing, and you know that you've got a crappie because they, all of a sudden they disappear, but they're there. You just know what it is when they bite. They just have a different strike than a bass or a perch does, most of the time. That one I didn't feel bite at all. I had too much slack in the line. It's a good thing if we were eating, we'd have still got enough for a mess because there's so many. You just wouldn't have very big bites at a time. It would take a lot. The perfect thing to fish for crappie with is a spinning rod. This is a HT enticer. It's a Jimmy Houston signature rod, and a little spinning reel. And Jimmy and I do a couple of things different when we're fishing. I leave my reel, my anti-reverse, off. I think he leaves his locked. Mine turns freely all the time. I don't know, that's just the way I like it. And for most people, it's better to have it locked, which is that, where it won't back up on you. Especially for crappie, because you can stop it with your finger. Now, on a bass, you might want to have it where your drag will kick in if you get a big bass on, but for the crappie you can control it with just your finger, and it's just relaxing to go out with one of these and catch these. And anybody can learn to throw one of these things, from the youngest to the oldest. The guys were working on putting out blinds this weekend, and they came in for lunch, and the cook was a little late getting lunch ready, so they decided to come down here and fish. And Apache was with him, and I said, well, Apache, you want to go down there and fish with him? And he said, I don't know how to fish, but I'll go watch. Well, they taught him how to throw a spinning reel, and he caught one. He said the first one he'd ever caught. He said the only thing he'd ever caught one on was, I think he said, a can with some string around it like they do in Mexico. But we had given him some rods and reels last year, and he'd never used them, so now he'll probably go rig up and we'll lose our help. We don't want to teach him too well how to fish because he'll be wanting to go fishing all the time. This reel has got 20-pound braid. It makes it nice to use the braid because you don't have to high seas 20-pound test braid. and it's green. And a lot of times we put leaders on them, but you don't have to. It's small enough in diameter that it doesn't bother the action or the visibility in the water. And it makes it nice so that if you get hung, you can pull it. Can't break it, but you can maybe straighten the hook and get your bait back. But the thing about it, you don't have to worry about fraying your line and losing your baits and everything all the time, because that braid is so strong. And like I say, it doesn't affect the action of the bait at all. It just one more thing you don't have to take care of when you're out there fishing. So, sun's getting low, but I don't think I'm going home yet. I think that, I don't know how many we've caught, maybe, or I've caught probably. Oops, there's a nicer one. Maybe 30, 31, 32, 40, 50. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I had a good time. Everybody needs to try this sometime. So, we'll do it again sometime. I've got a mess on my roddy tip, but anyway, we might bring Jimmy down and let him catch one tomorrow. Maybe.